Well, joining us live from Detroit via Skype is Dawud Walid, the Executive Director of the Michigan chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here on the program. It seems pretty clear now, doesn't it, that this crude film that has caused offense to so many Muslims is really only the spark as far as the violence is concerned, and that there are a lot of deep-rooted problems within the Arab and Muslim world that have now come to the surface.
That's correct. Although there's a lot of discussion out here about this very cheap and poor quality film, I've been watching media coverage and talking with people who have connections with the region, and there's really a type of deeper animosity towards the West, but America in particular, regarding the policies that have affected the region. And many people feel that the high unemployment rate, that the lack of progress in their societies, that there is the drone attacks that go on in Yemen, that there is a connection to their miserable standard of living with actions of the West in America propping up dictators and etc. So it seems to be that this movie, this very cheap parody about Prophet Muhammad, really is the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back.
Sure, but these demonstrations, they seem to start as a result of the film in Libya. Now, this was a country that had its longtime leader, Colonel Gaddafi, toppled as a result of NATO airstrikes. So America was involved in helping to liberate the country, a lot of people would argue. So as a result, there's a lot of puzzlement in the West as to why now America has been turned on.
Well, that's correct. I think Libya is the exception to the other countries, but until further investigation, we really don't know how things got stirred up in Libya. We're not even sure who attacked the embassy and killed our ambassador, as well as three other people. I know there's, last I heard, there's one person in custody, but there's something that's a deeper type of animosity that may be brewing there. It's actually interesting, too, that just prior to the attack in Libya that took place, a few days prior, a media story came out saying that the American government had actually tortured some of the rebels that were fighting against Gaddafi a few years prior. So who knows what else, what other type of animosities were in the Libyan society that basically tipped the scale towards the violence that took place at our embassy.
Sure. I mean, as I say, a lot of Muslims across the world have been offended by this film. But what does it tell us, the fact that there are 7 million American Muslims in the United States, and yet there has not been a single protest against the film taking place there?
Well, the vast majority of 1.6 billion Muslims in 50 Muslim majority countries haven't protested either. But here in the United States of America, we're used to these types of shenanigans. We understand how free speech works here in the United States of America. But two, despite some of the issues of Islamophobia and discrimination that we face here in America, America is perhaps the best place in the world to practice Islam. We have a higher standard of income than the average American. We're more educated than the average American. So we have a pretty good life here. We're not dealing with the same socioeconomic pressures and high unemployment like what's going on in Cairo or in Sana'a, Yemen.
Very interesting. Dawud Walid from the Michigan chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.